Hey there, Aquarius community. Soul Tigress here with an important story for this community. The vibe that I'm getting is just Aquarius is surrounded. And they're not surrounded in a good way. Definitely when I'm cleaning up the decks and bringing in the intentions for positive messages, plus all our guardian energies around to help protect this frequency and cut out anything that's being tossed into this frequency that's negative. I get a sense there is a lot of negativity that's being thrown towards Aquarius. Not just by Aquarius themselves in their thoughts or even in their emotions, but I feel like it's others as well. And I do have some clairaudience, and I've definitely noticed how my ear on the left is just, it's clogged. It's really clogged, and I've noticed for a good few weeks on and off I'm picking up some negative energy that's coming in, and it's outside sources in our external environment. And then today I've been having the right clog on and off. So I feel like that's Aquarius kind of trying to sift through what they're picking up, but also the things that they're working on. Because let's face it, Aquarius could endure a lot, and we are always eye on the prize. We don't like to get stifled in the muck with others. If we can see a way to, say, hop on stones and get through, we're not going to go the same direction as everyone else. So with that being said, I feel like also Aquarius is working, but what I'm feeling with the new moon in Gemini is Gemini sees from two different sides of the coin. So there's some other side of the coin in this new moon that we're supposed to be seeing. We're supposed to be putting it towards the things that we're growing. And I feel like this new moon in Gemini is really making us step up. Remember the things that we were talking about we wanted to work on in the beginning of the year, our goals. Now, here's the time that a lot of distractions are at hand. Also, we're being given choices. Are you going to practice it when nobody's looking, when the doors are closed? How far do you want to go with it? How much are you dedicated to it? I feel like all that's kind of being thrown in the Aquarius frequency. And at the same time, Aquarius is still going, hitting these hurdles, hitting these bumps, and asking, where are my results at? Something should be getting easier by now. And we're being forced to take times to rest. We're being forced to endure things that are literally out of our control. To practice that superpower of patience. And it's a hard community to tell, practice patience or be patient. Because I know me as an Aquarius, one way I would describe myself, an animal that I would compare myself to, is a great white shark. If you know anything about great white sharks, is you really can't find them in captivity. They've tried to put great whites in captivity, but great whites need plenty of space, plenty of space to move. Plenty of space to move, because that's how they get their oxygen from the water, in the gills. They're able to breathe. And when you cut that space down, it's really hard for them to survive. And I feel like that's a lot of Aquarius energy. We thrive in being able to make progress. If you look at it, Aquarius is a positive masculine energy. So we thrive in exploration, adventure, progress, and development. And when those things kind of get hindered with situations and variables that are out of our control, oh man, do we get stifled. All right, so that's enough about the vibe. Totally not sure what's going to come out, but I've been told at this moment, this is the time to dive into this story. Now I have 4 oracle cards and only 1 tarot. I have no idea how this is going to go, how it's going to build up, and what the outcome is. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with the Moonology. Let's see what it is. Angels, ancestors, please help these messages come out so we can understand what is happening in the moment. What is going on in our frequency? Something we don't see. Step out of your comfort zone. This is some North Node work. If you know anything about North Node, that is your alignment towards your purpose in your path, or part of it. Your South Node is where you reside. So what I can give as an example of mine. My North Node is in Aries. My South Node is in Libra. Because my South Node is in Libra, I'm always worried about everyone else, how they feel, and how they're doing. And I put myself last. But my journey is to step into my North Node, to be aware of who I am, what I bring to the table, and what my purpose is, and walking it with confidence, being hand in hand with myself and my purpose. Keep that in mind. Check out your chart. See where your North Node is. All right, what else would like to come out for the Aquarius community? Work through your fears. New Moon and Scorpio. What are those fears? Is it stepping into yourself, showing up 100? Because Aquariuses are very smart, and sometimes it's hard to be very smart. A new romantic cycle begins. New Moon in Libra. Balance is coming. What I mean is it can be hard to be smart or see perspectives from your view and not have many others see those perspectives that you are surrounded by. A person who is always seeking knowledge could come off as a know-it-all. Especially for Aquarius, we tend to like to research and learn things, and one of our sayings is, I know. And it's just us trying to relate to the world, you know, trying to give back, and that's using the piece of information that we have to contribute. We are the water bearers. What is water? Nectar of life. Next card that comes out, your dreams need a practical plan. Full Moon and Taurus. What this speaks is where you want to go. Maybe this is the moment to start grounding yourself out in it. Really shine the light on it, giving it some full focus. And what I mean by full focus is engaging with it every day, every moment. And that could be a positive thought. And then we have a new start is coming. New moon. New moon. Okay, so I have 3 new moons. 3 new moons followed by a full moon. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. That's that step back, getting yourself grounded and what you want, where you want to go. Meditate and contemplate on it. New moon in Pisces. How do you want to get there? Do you want to spend the whole time getting in that direction, going towards your goal, fighting the variables of life? Or would you rather enjoy the ride, enjoy the detours, enjoy the views? That's what this is asking as a fixed sign, because when we can't move, we start to get frantic and we will push back. And this is saying it's not the time to push back. What this is saying is bring love, into the situation. Another new moon. And the last card that it lands on is the energy is gaining momentum. Waxing moon. Let's see. Yep. And I feel like this is what Aquarius is feeling, is this energy around them. They're getting in touch with their gifts. They're feeling so much more. And it's getting hard to navigate, again, because when we settle down, we start to feel even more coming in. And when we get moving, it's a little bit easier to navigate. We can say, oh, we met up with this person, this is coming in, we know that belongs to them. But when we're stuck in an environment where we're just like, so many incoming messages, and again, if we still have these blocks, they're getting filtered in and they're being interpreted as something that is negative to this Aquarius. It may be feeding into the fears. And maybe this new romantic cycle is a part of overcoming these little fears that this Aquarius is attached to. What is the practical plan to this Aquarius's dreams? Bringing love into it, seeing it. All right, I'm hearing it's time to move on. And what I'm being told is we're going to bring out the Shamanic Oracle. So, angels of protection, divine and universal energy. Can we get a little bit more of a clue what's going on in the present for the Aquarius energy? There's quite a bit. So, bringing love into the situation and looking at the bigger picture and grounding in it. I'm hearing it has to do with the direction you want to go. Really seeing it. Then I have sexual energy that we don't see that lands on healing energy. And it also lands on anger. Something else that Aquarius doesn't see. Could there be some displaced sexual energy? Could there be still some displace of how this Aquarius views themselves? Maybe some displacement in how they think that they bring themselves in due to their current situation. A lot of anger surrounding that, because I feel like this Aquarius feels like whatever it is that this image of them is bringing in, it's all out of their control at this moment. And there's a lot of anger around it. A lot of anger. And what I say, Aquarius, when we can't be able to problem solve, when we can't move something forward, it really starts to fester in us. We get stuck, it starts to really fester in us. When we can't see that goal coming, that outcome, the finish line, it really starts to fester in us. All right. The energy is gaining momentum. Meditate and contemplate. And this one specifically lands on anger. So you need to have a new day. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You're doing what you should be doing right now. And bringing in some feminine energy into this situation, feminine tendencies, divine feminine energy. And that is compassion, acceptance, kindness, and mercy for your journey, for how far you came, because you're not just a little sprout anymore. You've been going, and you've been going up with your growth. This is why you're here and you're watching this video, because this is all about self-empowerment. Self-empowerment, and you've been honoring your energy this whole time. And I feel like that has been the saving grace. This is what's kept the cap on Aquarius's shooken soda bottle and from it not exploding. Because at the end of the day, Aquarius knows that the only way to go up is in a positive direction, is keeping these seeds nourished with positivity opposed to negativity. But the more positivity you bring in, the more stuff that you can grow. And again, Aquarius is a positive masculine energy. It's always looked at, how come I'm not moving forward? And instead of looked at, okay, so this is where I'm at now. Let's accept it. Let's embrace it. And let's hang out here. It can be very hard sometimes. I'm hearing one more card, and then we're going to move on to some tarot. All right, one more card. What else would like to come out? Oh, this is interesting. So this is something that Aquarius doesn't see, but it's going to feed into this. So this is definitely next. Here we have that masculine energy. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. So that's a direct message, I feel like, to Aquarius. Again, because we are positive masculine energy. It's okay. We're going to slow it down. It's a part of our process. It's a part of the way that we're supposed to go at this moment, at this time of the year for us. And that process could be helping cleanse out even more. Turtles, I'm going to bring this back. Turtles are also associated with Cancerian energy. Cancerians love, they love if they could carry their whole world, their whole home on their back. You know, they love feeling at home where they go. That's why they choose certain places. So with this being said, if we were to take out the turtle and we were to put a crab here instead, what happens with Cancerian energy sometimes is they can get stuck holding on to something, even though they have the option to let go. So at this moment, maybe the reason why our positive masculine energy is being told it's time to do a slow and steady movement is because there's still something that this Aquarius is holding on to. Something that's still there in the fears that they have to work through. You have to ask yourself, sit down with yourself. What is it? What is it that I'm afraid of? And what I'm hearing is failing. Could this Aquarius in this story be afraid at failing at some dream, some goal that they've started working towards? They're not seeing the results. So again, it's this heavy feeling of I'm not progressing. All right, so what would like to come out with the tarot? I'm hearing that this is specifically going to be for the block. All right, for the block for Aquarius, divine and universal energy. What is it for the block for Aquarius that would like to come out? Yep, this is the block. Everything that I worked for feels like it's been tipped upside down. All I can do is think about how these variables are out of my control. Out of my control. And it's just fighting life. Fighting life, fighting with the people that I have to deal with in it. What I'm hearing is this Aquarius has been trying really hard to turn a new leaf. All right, I'm hearing to shuffle this deck one time. We're going to go to a different way. All right, let's go. What else would like to come out for the block for Aquarius? what I have on the new start, dreams need a practical plan, and release the fears, is a Queen of Swords. That's all the way and upright. Those fears are thought driven. Aquarius, you have the tool to cut through them. I feel like Aquarius has worked on it, been doing it, but right now they just got stuck. So get back into that I can do it mode. I can do it. I'm going to make it. What else would like to come out for the present? Let's see. Or not the present, the block. But if this came out for the present and the block, because I did say present, we got that wheel or the world in reverse. And the world has to do with a lot of fixed energy. Maybe it's time to bring in a cardinal energy or a mutable energy. Cardinal energy is one that greets new cycles. Mutable energy, I believe, is the one that ends cycles. Fixed energy is the peak of those energies. So right now you're trying to peak out in your energy, and it's not the time. Could be time to slow down, time to end a cycle. And what that lands on is the Hierophant in reverse, another Taurus card. What is the cycle? What are the traditions? What is the same old? Could be same old thought process that's holding you back. Same thing that you're focusing on that's holding you back. And again, I believe that goes back to healing that energy of how this Aquarius is viewing themselves. Because I feel like sexual energy is very sacred energy. When you bring in sexual energy, you bring in a very vulnerable part of yourself. It depends on how you treat it. Some people don't treat it like a treasure. Some people do treat it like a treasure. But for me, it was always the vulnerable part. It's always a treasure of the person. And the whole thing is, if you feel like your treasure, your vessel, the thing that you've worked hard on is not up to par, then that's really going to be felt in your energy. Not just by others, but in ways where you start to hold yourself back. And Aquarius is always known to be authentic self. So don't forget that your vessel, who you are, is remarkable. Even though society will have you convinced that you have to look a certain way, think a certain way, only have certain problems, that's not the reality of life. It's our individualism that gives us our authentic selves. And anything else want to come out for the block? Something that we don't see that lands on the traditions, also keeping this Aquarius up, are contracts. Contracts that didn't work out for them. I see that sometimes we get very disappointed in people because we figure what we see first is something. It's like the first coating before the mask comes off, and then the mask starts to come off, and then you're like, oh gosh darn it, I thought that person was actually really enlightened, and they're actually were just playing a game the whole time. That could be something that is very hard for Aquarius. A lot of people don't know we're very sensitive. So in that sensitivity, you know, how are you filling those emotional cups? How are you honoring your energy? How are you sitting with yourself? How can you bring love into the situation that is going to fill your cups, make you feel like you are not only the most important person, but you're protected, you're secure, you're confident, you're loved, you're honored, you're respected. But the thing is, what I've learned throughout the years is that all comes from self first. When you first start setting that standard with yourself and how you treat yourself. And what I have is a Two of Wands that comes out in reverse. It lands on all that conflict. It's landing on the contracts that aren't working. It's landing on the outcomes that you're not seeing. And this just speaks on how, again, you're trying and you're not seeing it. And this is really affecting the passions. And when Aquarius's passions get affected, it's hard to produce movement. All right, last card. What would like to come out for the block? For the Aquarius community. All right, something else that Aquarius doesn't see. And it's the Star. And I feel like right now it's teetering to go into the cycle of side position, then reverse. So right now, Aquarius is teeter-tottering. And I feel like it's because they're doing so much. They have so many wishes out there. Their wish fulfillment in their career, their wish fulfillment in their family, their wish fulfillment, even just with coworkers, because concentrating on your career and how you go in that is different than the focus in the social environment there. Also, the social environment that's outside of the career, the home life, leading the direction with self. Maybe they have a certain alignment that they're working on. And it's just like, I'm doing all this work. I'm pouring into so much else. And it's just teetering. Right now it's teetering. What I could say is just cleaning up those thoughts, taking some time and slowing down. We're not really a great white shark. Great thing to know, right? So we can slow down. We can have those moments of rest and be able to function. Oh, that's so neat. Do y'all see that? I haven't seen a bird show up like that. So I feel like that's the biggest message here. So let's go into the conclusion with what's happening in this block, what's happening in the present. And we're going to ask for some direct messages here. What can help out our block? Ancestors, angels, and spirit guides. What is it, divine and universal energy, that can help out our block? I'm looking for the bird if y'all see me looking off. I think it's dived down there. I think it wants the water I put out, so I'll have to make it more accessible. All right, I love animals. I don't know, I felt like I had a lot of animal lives, one of them being a dragon. Grr, baby, grr. All right, we're getting sidetracked. Aquarius, let's go ahead. What is it that can help out with the block? What can help the Aquarius community understand what's going on at this time? Oh, man. So this block, being able to slow down, being able to be patient, like I said, it's a superpower. And it's a part of the success. And right now, seeing how it's intertwined into this moment and how this moment is going to feed into the future, how you ripple those vibrations, being mindful, practicing mindfulness, being able to stop in that moment that we're like, we got to go. I'm going to push it anyways. I'm going to push against life and just saying, okay, just for today, I will go with the flow. And something that we don't see is this is a part of Aquarius building up their resilience. Have faith. That's what I heard directly from an angel. Have faith. It's going to play out. And it's going to play out in all that you've been wishing for. But it can't play out in the simple way that you're asking. How would you build your resilience? How could you feel the fullness of your success? Something else that Aquarius doesn't see, and this feeds into the mindfulness, is the intuition. When you're feeling a little buggy and you're getting ready to go flying off to your own direction, really feel it. Be mindful of the moment. Take a view, take another view, take another view, and maybe bring a view really close down, getting grounded in it, seeing it from many sides. How all of this is going to help make that inner diamond shine a little bit more, because I feel like Aquarius is definitely a diamond in the rough. And maybe they're just like, hey, somebody find me. Hey, I don't need a hand out, but I could use a hand up. They're willing to work for it. Something else that we don't see, as part of the intuition, is the internal charisma. Aquarius, you have a lot of great things that are going on. I feel like the Aquarius in this story is operating a few decimals ahead of others. And this is why it could be hard for Aquarius to communicate with others that are not at that decimal or even at that level. But just know everything that you've been building up in your internal charisma is important. And you're blossoming. You are blossoming. And it came at many cycles that you've had, many cycles that you've worked through. Don't dull this because you feel like everyone else isn't there. You're right on time. It's okay to be a little early. It's okay. Because guess what? You're there a little early and you're given time to relax. This is your time to relax. Have patience. Take care of yourself. What do you want to do for you? Seriously, what do you want to do for you? Have you been wanting to try a certain food? Have you been dying to take a walk? If you're handed that extra time, do something for you. And what I have here is the elixir of life. You don't realize it, but that mindfulness does feed into the elixir of life. Understanding the framework and the patterns that are presented to you. The as above, so as below concept. Being able to be at peace, even in a disturbance in the direction that you're going. Knowing that that detour is going to lead you to some beautiful views. All right, so the last deck is the Universe Oracle. We need to bring some love into this, as we seen earlier with the Aquarius and the new moon. So this is what this deck is for. What is the love that's needed? All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience through the first part of this and all my fumbling with my grammar and speech sometimes. As an Aquarius with a lot of fire energy in there, I get a little bit like I'm moving too fast for this vessel, and it gets hard for it to keep up sometimes. All right. So, first message is energy flows where my intentions go. Really think about those moments that you're getting flustered. Bringing in the mindfulness, filling your intuition, grounding yourself out in your intuition and where your intentions need to go. Because if you're focusing on your social dynamic, social status, that takes away from other goals that you have. So what are the major goals that need your attention? And that lands on joy is the ultimate creator. Remember that in the moments that you're feeling stuck, in the moments where a break is being given, and you're like, I have other stuff to do. Find the joy. As Miss Frizzle said, get messy, and have fun. That's the name of this game. Have fun. Not all of life's lessons have to be at the expense of a traumatic lesson. They can be at the expense of joy, releasing, tying a positive message to the end of something. I'll share this tidbit. We're going to go on to a detour real quick. I was talking with a fellow human, and they were having a lot of anxieties around moving from one coast to the other. They got animals, vehicles, and a whole life with a partner that they have to upload and go. And they just don't know how they're going to do it. They don't know how to feel about it, but just anxious. And I threw in this little tidbit, and I was like, well, what if you take your doggo with you? Because a doggo's better at doing road trips. Generally, each doggo is their own individual, and some doggos do get car sick. But usually a dog is easier to take on a road trip than, say, a cat. So I suggested, why don't you take your dog with you? Take the bigger vehicle, because you can convert that vehicle down into a livable space and make one last road trip, saying goodbye to this coast, this lifetime in this coast, and being able to be fully done with it, be at peace with it, and just enjoy the journey of embarking on their life on the other coast. At first there was some resistance, but the more they kind of milled it in their head, they're like, you know, I could invite a friend to go with me. This could be really fun. And that's the thing. And I told him it's all in perspective. If you want to stress about something and build anxiety towards it, then that's all the energy that's going to be put towards it. There's going to be a lot of resentment. There's also going to be a lot of pushback from that person energetically. When you start to see another side of the coin, which this is the Gemini's new moon here, is what's teaching us. Seeing the other side of the coin. What can I do with this experience that will make it more pleasantable? That will help lower my stress levels? What can I incorporate that I know will help me get through this next experience to my next step in the direction that I'm going? So keep that in mind. Mill that around, fellow Aquarians. So what we have that lands on mindfulness, success, and the elixir of life is I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. Oh man, I can't make this up. Bam. I'm telling you, your guides are speaking to you. You're not alone. You are not alone. I feel like the reason why Aquarius is still holding their cues because they know they've been picking up on the guides. They're trying to look around, take those deep breaths. So good job, Aquarius. Don't forget to congratulate yourselves. So what I have next is my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. It's going to be whatever vibration you put out is the exact mirror that's going to come back towards you. So you want that ultimate, keep seeing that ultimate. If you're having a hard moment, incorporate that ultimate into that supportive process. If it's seeing yourself at a certain point in your career, then incorporate that into what you're feeling, what you're doubting, and changing that view, seeing it from the other side of the coin. All right, I'm seeing 2 more cards are needed. What 2 cards? Oh man. Universe, divine, or like, no, you need a little bit more than this. So our half a booklet falls on intuition, eternal charisma. Joy is the ultimate creator. I honor how I want to feel. That's an everyday practice, even on the tough days. That simple affirmation, just for today, I will believe in the flow. Or another one, just for today, I will trust the process. My fearless freedom lights up the world. I'm going to confirm this. You may be feeling a lot of negativity, a lot of scrutiny from outside sources, and it's because you shine so bright. You're very unique, and that uniqueness, that authenticness is here to set that example, to help others who are asleep wake up and understanding that they can be freed, that they too can start trusting in their intuition. They too can go on the path of loving self, opening up to the flow, opening up to aligning with their purpose. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. Don't attach to your outcomes coming at specific times in specific ways. Life has a cruel sense of humor sometimes, and it's going to throw different lessons at you to give you different experiences to help build up your intuition, your resilience, your mindfulness, to help you actually feel the fullness of your success. And it's being open to walking that path without attachment. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. There we go. How we feel about ourselves is how we see the world. If you see yourself in a pretty awesome way, you're going to start seeing that world in a really awesome way as well. So don't forget the positive messages. Don't forget that you're loved and that your guardians are there and you're right on time on your path, even though you don't feel like it. I hope you all enjoyed this story and you have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, P.S. Thank you for your patience.